Oh,
Press the record button. Okay, over to you, Brenda.
I am Brenda the Solutionist. I'm a retired Marine Gunnery Sergeant with 20 years of active service. I'm the mother of the amazing Alex, and I live to inspire, speak to encourage, and I want everyone to live their best life now. And that started for me at the age of 8 based on a very violent incident. At 8 years old, the Augusta riots occurred in my neighborhood. There were burnings and looting. And then there was an unfortunate incident where a beautiful, handsome white man with blonde hair and blue eyes stepped toward me and spit in my face and called me the N word. I was traumatized, y'all. But the reality is, life still went on. A few months later, my uncle Freddie, my favorite uncle, who was a Navy veteran, took me to the Philadelphia Naval Yard. There was a parade, and at that parade, I saw these beautiful, handsome men again in tall. They were very tall. They had on blue uniforms, light blue at the bottom, red stripes, and dark blue at top, white hats and white gloves, and they glided across the parade deck. At the end of this event, one of them approached me, another blonde haired, blue eyed man with sparkling, dancing eyes. He leaned down toward me. I braced for the spit, but instead he said, "Hello, little lady. What's your name?" I said, "My name is Brenda," as I hovered behind my uncle's leg. He said, "Well, how you doing?" I said, "Fine." He looked at me, I looked at him, and he smiled. And I said, "What are you?" He says, "I'm a Marine." I said, "What's a Marine?" He said, "Well, little lady, Marines protect those who can't protect themselves." And right then and there at 8 years old, I knew that when I grew up, I was going to be a Marine. So 2 days after graduation from high school, I entered the uh, wonderful base of Paris Island, South Carolina, stepping on those yellow footprints, and my life would be changed forever. I got to travel all around the world. I was blessed to have many assignments. My final assignment was at the Pentagon, where I worked at the Defense Advisory Committee for Women in the Service, called DACOIS. We went and ensured that women were being treated fairly all over the military in all branches of services. I got to meet many people and travel many places under the auspice of the Secretary of Defense, and that was a journey that I will never forget. Now, fast forward, I retired in 2000, and that is when I had my uh, amazing one and only child, Alex. That was my retirement present to myself. That's a whole nother story for another day, but it is a miracle of God that I had that child based on things that happened to me in the military. By 2013, I was a director at a hospital here in Goldsboro, the Wayne Memorial Hospital. I was the director of environmental services. I was in charge of 5 departments. And I had hundreds of employees, and one day I had a meltdown. That is when I would finally be diagnosed with post traumatic stress disorder and PTSD and military sexual trauma, MST. I would go on to spend the next couple of years hiding, not telling anyone, not my family, not my husband, not my coworkers, not my boss. And by the end of 2013, I had a complete, and I do mean complete, mental breakdown. That mental breakdown would put me on my couch for 8 years because I did not know that this could happen to Marines, because in my Marines don't do that. We are the keepers of the gate. We handle everything. I was ashamed and afraid to ask for help. I lived in the shame and guilt. Shame is you are bad. Guilt is you did something bad. I call it schmilt. And for years, I lived like that. And then finally, because of a prayer, I said, God, there's got to be more than this. And then after that, I decided I wanted to become yet another unnecessary silence. So unfortunately, I had a bottle of pills and I thought this is going to be the way I'm going to stop the pain. But fortunately for me, the National Crisis Hotline, which is open 24 hours a day, and if you find yourself struggling with thoughts of harming yourself or others, all you have to do is dial 988. Veterans press one. There's somebody there 24 hours a day willing to help you. And there was somebody there the day I needed them that helped me, told me there was something better for me. And out of that, I realized that I could make a difference, that I had a story to tell, that there was something left in me that I needed to do. And with that, I went on to have my own television show. I wrote my first book, which is called Soul Searching. is get on board for transformation using the TAPIN method. It's a 5-step strategic plan I created to help people close the gap between their desires and their reality. See, what I understand now that I didn't understand when all of this started was that each of us are designer originals, and we were put here for a purpose to help change not just our own lives, but other people's lives. And as a veteran, I was able to tap into all the training that the Marine Corps gave me over the years to help me now help women over 40 who have online businesses or desire to have them create wealth beyond money without sacrificing their family or losing their integrity while they pursue their dreams, and also to help veterans walk into their power, understanding that they have the ability to make a definite decision to change their life no matter where they currently are. So I'm excited about any opportunity to speak about being a veteran and tapping into what I call the veteran identity. This is written by another veteran, Lisa DeShorm. She's an Air Force veteran, and I'm really blessed that I have those connections, just like coming here today to get this opportunity to speak. And I say thank you for allowing me to share that.
Wow. Brenda, you really touched my heart. Uh, and when I hear stories about veterans and what they went through in the military, but then they came back and served the community, and I say it's called give back. But then
Mm-hmm.
when I hear a story that's beyond that story, then you take a bad situation and you become a TV star and you write a book and you give back and you continue to give back. So I think that needs a big applaud. I mean, I really think what you're doing is outstanding, and I am so proud to know you and that you live so close to me, that I hope we get to see each other soon.
Oh, we
But
absolutely
thank you
will.
for coming on our show and sharing that story. So if you are going through anything that she's described, please write us a comment and get some help, because sometimes we try to do it ourselves and
Hmm.
we need help from specialists, as Brenda said, and then get yourself fixed and situated so you can come back into society and live a full life. All right, and create your own table, as Heather would say. So,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for that. You're watching Discover Brightside. This is our 7th year of celebrating veterans, and we love telling their stories of grit, valor, bravery, courage, and all to help you in your day to day life so that you get stronger and empowered when you hear these stories. So, thank you for sharing your story on our channel.